young woman went to an ATM to withdraw money, but the machine swallowed her card and, on top of that, the $10,000 in her account disappeared. She immediately called the bank for help, but when the teller learned what had happened, she became happy instead. It turned out that a few days earlier, the woman had already called to report that the ATM was malfunctioning, but the teller had refused to do anything. With no other choice, the woman filed a complaint with the bank, and because of that, the manager scolded the teller. From then on, the teller held a grudge against her. She told the woman that the ATM repair would take a long time and that it wasn't something she could fix whenever she wanted. The woman explained that she urgently needed the money to pay for her mother's surgery, but the teller didn't care. She even told her that if she was in such a hurry, she should take the ATM apart herself, then hung up the phone. Just then, the ATM made a noise. The woman realized the machine wasn't broken at all. Excited, she pulled out a stack of bills, counted them carefully, and ran to the hospital to pay. But just as she turned around, the ATM started spitting out more and more money. Even though she desperately needed the cash, she didn't give in to greed. She immediately called the bank again and explained that the ATM was still dispensing money. But to the teller, her honesty was a joke. She believed that someone so poor would have already run off with the money. She hung up again. At that moment, the woman's phone rang. It was the hospital, urging her to pay as soon as possible. There were only 30 minutes left before her mother's surgery. Desperate, she called the bank again, and once more the same teller answered. Hearing it was the same woman, the teller completely lost her patience. She shouted that if the woman was really such a good citizen, then she should count all the money and bring it to the bank herself, and hung up. When the woman tried to call again, she found she had been blocked. With no other option, she went to buy 2 large suitcases, packed all the money the ATM had dispensed, and took a taxi straight to the bank. Meanwhile, the teller received a call from her mother, reminding her that she had a blind date at 7 o'clock with the son of an important businessman. The teller was delighted when she saw it was already 6:50. Taking advantage of the manager's absence, she left the bank without telling anyone. As soon as she stepped outside, she ran into the woman at the entrance, before the woman could even speak. The teller angrily told her that the bank was already closed and that she should come back tomorrow, then stormed off. But just as she was leaving, the woman explained that she had come to return the money the ATM had dispensed. The teller immediately realized that this was the same woman who had reported her, and the woman also recognized her as the irresponsible teller. Even so, the woman explained that there was $1 million inside the suitcases, everything the ATM had released. She opened a suitcase to prove it. Just then, the manager arrived. To keep her actions from being exposed, the teller lied to him, saying that the woman was from the countryside, and since it was already dark, wanted to spend the night in front of the bank. The manager said that would damage the bank's image and told the teller to kick her out. The teller then called the security guards and told them that the woman had damaged the ATM and was causing trouble. Hearing this, the guards forcibly dragged the woman out along with the suitcases full of money. The woman got up from the ground, furious. She shouted that she had come to return $1 million, yet they were treating her this way. But the guards had worked there for years and had never heard of an ATM dispensing that much cash. While the teller mocked her, the woman lost her patience and asked one last time whether they really intended to throw her out. When she received an affirmative answer, she decided not to argue anymore. She asked the teller to write a letter stating that on that day, at that place, she had voluntarily returned $1 million due to an ATM malfunction, and that any subsequent loss would no longer be her responsibility. The teller still thought it was a joke, but just to make her leave, she took out paper and pen. She wrote exactly what the woman asked and signed it with her name. She tossed the letter at the woman and left in a taxi for her date. But at that very moment, the taxi radio announced that an ATM at a certain bank had mistakenly dispensed $1 million in cash. The teller froze in shock, and before she could react, she received an unexpected phone call.